How does the European Parliament fight corruption and inefficiencies? Well, I'm a member of the European Parliament, and one of my duties here is to make sure that the EU is more transparent and efficient through my work in the Budgetary Control Committee. In this committee, with other members of the European Parliament from all different political groups, we make sure that the EU institution budgets are used effectively and free of corruption. And this past week, we had to vote on an interesting issue on corruption and nepotism in the European Union Agency for Asylum. Basically, this is the EU agency that coordinates the implementation of the EU migration policy among member states, including asylum applications and deportation. So, what we did in this Budgetary Control Committee for this issue? Well, 6 months ago, we recommended to postpone the discharge of the 2023 financial year of this agency. Basically, meaning that we temporarily withheld Parliament sign off on the 2023 accounts on the agency until more information and corrective actions were in place. So fast forward last week, when we finally approved the discharge, because the asylum agency took good steps against corruption by ending the practice of appointing interim managers and changing staff evaluation procedures. But of course, I wanted to be tough on the management of this agency. So I proposed 8 amendments that were all supported and will be in the text of recommendation to improve the EU Asylum Agency for the future. Basically, my amendments ask for the same strict conditions when using EU funds for countries in the EU and EU institutions. Next one is EU institutions, agencies and decentralized agencies should set an example of responsibility and transparency regarding the use of European public funds. Also, to put measures in place to ensure faster access to investigation reports for members like me in the Budgetary Control Committee. I also ask for a better coordination between the anti-fraud EU institutional architecture. And last but not least, I call on the European Commission to support identifying the lessons that was learned from this particular case and disseminate the result as part of the prevention efforts. So with this video, I just wanted to share how we work here inside the European Parliament to ensure that the EU runs smoothly. And also, I wanted to thank my fellow members of the European Parliament that supported my amendments. It's cool that we can fight together corruption. But I'm curious to hear if you knew anything about how we members of the European Parliament work in these committees. Let us all know if you knew or not in the comments below.